And, we're back because we at last have some news. Hello. Welcome back.
To the crazy house.
Yes.
It's not a crazy house now. It's almost like it's always bonkers.
And, we're back because we at last have some news. New here, I'm Sam.
I'm Mark.
And we are in the process of emigrating to Florida, Orlando.
Not the way you've crossed your fingers. Almost.
Exactly.
Almost. For anybody, so for anybody new, anybody that hasn't watched the previous videos, I implore you to go and watch them. But I have been awarded an EB1A category visa, which is an immigrant visa, so it automatically comes with green cards for myself, Sam, and our 2 children, and the dogs. So yeah, we're very, very, very close to the end of all being signed off and finalised, so we can actually make the transition. So that is what we're referring to when we say that we've...
Big news!
Yeah, so we have finally got an interview date.
Yay!
Finally got an interview date. Now, bad news for you guys is we're not going to tell you exactly when the date is because we want to make it a surprise for everybody, including ourselves when we actually go for it. But we can say that it's towards the end of September.
Yes.
And then we'll put a bit of a exciting thing together once we've actually been to it. And
yeah, we'll obviously take you along with us.
But for as much as we can. Anyway.
Yes.
I think we'll kind of get kiboshed at the embassy doors.
Yeah, I don't see us being able to record in there. But we will take you along on our trip to London because that is where we've got to go.
Should we try and get the visa bloke on the other side of the window in? Oh, mate, give us a wave.
He's not going to do that.
No, okay. No, it was worth a try.
That's why I cross my fingers, because you're going to do something that's going to mean this, ain't I?
Smile, mate. You're on camera. No. So it's towards the end of September. The frustrating bit is the fact that it could have been a whole lot sooner.
Yes.
Had the communication been a lot better to us.
We don't quite know where it's all fallen down.
No, and I've spoken to the lawyers. Let me tell you a bit about what we've done, and then I'll explain to you what the conversation is I've had with the lawyers, and they can't believe it either. So, basically, when we had the expedite approved back on the 25th of June, and then we had to wait for all of my paperwork, documentation, etc., to be shipped over here. By the 27th of June, SEAC, which is the online platform where you file your DS260s, SEAC popped up as ready, which ultimately means that everything is in place. All fees have, well, I say all fees have been paid, but certainly all the documentation is correct, it's ready, it's at the embassy ready to schedule interviews. Well, at the same time, I received a letter by email from the MVC telling me that my expedite request had been approved by both the MVC and the embassy. Everything was now with them, and we now wait for the embassy to schedule an interview. That was the instruction. I'm almost tempted to paste it in the video somewhere, just to see if anybody else can determine whether or not we just misread it. But that's definitely 100% what it says. So we been an expedited interview, and again, there's no information anywhere in the world, anywhere online, that tells you what that looks like and what sort of time frames you can expect. No. Every embassy is different. Every expedite request is different based on what it is you've been expedited for. So there's no details anywhere about how long that might take. But the bits and pieces I could find, which is where other people have done similar experiences, is typically within sort of 2 to 4 weeks that I've had their interview letter come through, which then being expedited is 4 to 6 weeks later. So all being well, we kind of figured August time. Early August would be when the interview would be. So fast forward 3 and a bit weeks from the 27th, so that puts us 3rd week of July. Nothing. Radio silence, I've heard 0. I eventually found a way to contact the embassy because calling them's a waste of time. We did try. We told you that last week.
Yeah. Last video. Yeah.
I spoke to a very nice gentleman, but he wasn't able to tell me anything. And you can't speak to anyone on the phone. So I found an email address to contact, and it took them a week to reply to basically say, thank you for your email. Please follow these instructions. That's basically what it said, and it was a link to a website. It's not a website I've come across before. It was an embassy one, but it's not something I've ever found a link to. And it basically described that you have to go onto the DS260 platform, which is the one I mentioned earlier, populate all that documentation and file for them, which we'd obviously already done, otherwise we wouldn't have got to this stage anyway.
No.
And then there was another bit then that said about registering on something called the AIS portal. I don't know what the acronym's for, but signing up on the portal and then registering on there so you can populate a page and pay to have your passports returned to you. So basically you're filing with the courier service to say, this is where I want my passport, assuming my visa gets approved at the interview stage, this is where I want my passport sending back to. And just to note, that costs £30 per passport here in the UK. So it costs 120 quid to get your passport sent back to you. You don't have to do that. I think you can collect it from somewhere in London, but obviously that means you're having to travel back to London at some point to go and pick them up from wherever the distribution place is. So yeah, another 120 quid out of pocket. So I paid for passport returns to be done, but then I'd already signed up to this portal because it told us to do this way back in June, to be registered on it, to be prepared to have somewhere to sign to send your passports back to. But since then, I've also had a little button on there that says schedule appointment. I've not done anything with it. I have clicked on it a few times just to see what pops up, and most of the time it comes up with an error saying system busy, try again later, or something along those lines. But very infrequently, a date has appeared. And the earliest date that I've ever seen have come up is around about the 12th of August or 14th of August.
It's the middle of August sometime.
Yeah, sometime in the middle of August. Yeah. But obviously, my instruction has been they're going to schedule the interview for us. So I've never messed with it. I've never tried to book an appointment. I've just seen these dates pop up. So I went back again in reply to the email that I had from the embassy sort of third week of July. Okay, guys, thanks for that. I've already done everything you've asked me to do. What's next? And we're waiting for you to... how are we now waiting for you to schedule the appointments? I noticed, and I just happened to mention in the email, I noticed that I've got the facility to be able to schedule appointments myself on the AIS portal. Am I supposed to be doing it? It's not clear. The instructions aren't clear. It's taken them another week. They replied and said, yeah, you was always supposed to book your own interview. Oh. The instructions didn't say that. No. The instructions said you were going to book it. So what happens now? So I then went onto the system, because it's been 4 and a bit weeks since I saw last time I looked and saw it, since I saw the earlier dates.
All of the more current dates have gone.
Anything in August has gone, anything early September has gone, so it's basically left us with the late September option.
But we have an interview date at last, so we, need to be grateful for that.
Yeah, now so going back to the lawyers, I spoke to the lawyers about this and said, was you potentially aware of the fact that I should have booked it myself? Is this something you've ever heard of? And they've never, not one of them, have ever had a situation where the applicant has had to book their own visa interview.
Yeah. And
they've done other expedite requests as well. And it's the first time they've ever known about it. So whether it's something that's been changed and implemented recently.
We just got told we've got to schedule our own, so we just obeyed instructions and scheduled it.
Yes, so now we have a date, we can officially book the visa medicals, the medical interviews. Now, because it's in September, the Bentic Mansions in London, which is where everyone has to go to do visa medicals for immigrant visas in the UK. I think any visa medicals, even for non-immigrants, the ones that do have to do them, that's where you have to go. One place you can go to in London, they only ever book like a month in advance. So their calendar for September doesn't open until today. the woman I spoke to on the phone said, just give us a call back middle of next week. It's the easiest time to do it, and we'll get you in for 2 weeks before you need to have it. So the visa instructions, you need to have it's actually 5 days, 5 business days, but the medicals say 2 weeks. So you need to have had your medicals 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks before your interview date. So we're going to be aiming to try and get the medicals mid-September time. What that does mean is that we've got to go to London for a day or two, middle of September.
Yeah.
Then we've already booked hotels and stays and everything else for the back end of September for the actual interview itself, where just myself and Sam are going. All 4 of us have got to go for the medicals.
Yeah. So, yes, we will be able to sort of give you a better idea and an understanding on the visa medical and what you need before you go after we've booked it next week. Because when you book it, they send you like confirmation with everything that you need to bring with you. Mm-hmm. We've got a bit of a rough idea of what that is.
Yeah, they've got a list on their website that already tells you, but even with that list, like a conversation I had with them, not this most recent phone call, but the previous one where I just asked them a few questions, there's a note on their website that says you have to bring 4 passport photos with you. But then when you look at one of the descriptions on the embassy website, not the Visa Medical's website, it says you only need 2. And then talking to somebody on the phone a few weeks back at the medical place, they turned around and said, you might not need any.
So we don't actually know how many photos to take, but it just means we're going to have to go and pay to have more photos done, just in case.
But they're going to be different to the ones they've got.
That's true. Can't then, can we?
Well, they're going to be marginally different.
That's another conversation with them when you book it next week. And then obviously we've already been through things with you, like about what vaccinations you need. So we had some of those done, and we've got to go back and have second ones done next week.
So it's next week, the week after?
Is it the week after?
No, week after. Week Monday.
After. Yeah. So we've got to do some of those for before we go down there for the visa medical.
And then there's certain vaccinations you can't get on the NHS or here in the UK typically. So that would be something we have to have done at the medical centre where we go.
Yeah. And there's lots of things, which is why we'll sort of go through a bit more of a checklist with you after we've spoken to them next week, because you have to get things from the doctors, like a printout of your NHS record and stuff.
Yeah.
But then on that trip down to London, when we go and do the medicals, we also have to go and take all of our documents down with us for the interview, because you have to have all of your documents reviewed beforehand.
Yeah, so you have to basically go for your medicals, and then as soon as you've done your medical interviews, you have to then go straight to the embassy and have to have like a document pre-qualification there.
Yeah.
We'll share more details about it when we actually do it, but from what I've read and from what I understand from other people that have done the same, they basically put all of your documents except your passports into like a sealed document pack, and it just says do not open on it. So essentially then you just chuck that in a bag, you bring it back with you, and then when you go down for the actual interview, you basically just hand over that document pack, which has already been pre-stamped and pre-checked. I think the idea of it is that it's trying to prevent people from turning up to interviews with missing documents.
Yeah, so it gives you a period of time to be able to get any documents you don't have.
Yeah.
And also, I'm guessing, to speed up that interview process on the day, because you don't need to go through that paperwork qualification process either. It's already been done.
It's exciting. It's nerve-wracking, exciting.
But now it means that there's lots to be done, because now we've got a date, we've got a line in the sand, so to speak. And if we do get this approval at the end of September, it does mean at some point during October we will be off, potentially.
Yep.
I mean, we are aware that it can take a couple of weeks for the passports to come back.
Yeah. So we're not necessarily going to officially book anything
until we've got the passports back in hand.
But we'll have money around us to be able to just book flights. So whatever flights happen to be available, we're just going to do that.
And it may be that because it's cutting it so fine, we're trying to book a couple of weeks beforehand. We might not be able to go till in November. We're just going to have to play that by ear based on what flight availability is, where the seats are on the plane.
Yeah, we don't need to necessarily use DVC. It would have been.
It's not even about the
beneficial
DVC.
to do it,
it's
but
about
getting flights.
And making sure we can all sit together. Is kind of.
Wait a minute. Could we potentially book flights where we haven't got to sit together?
Yeah, you know that's not happening.
Oh, God damn it. I was going to say I could sit in business,
So
I could sleep.
no. So yeah. But obviously we can share all those details with you as we get closer and closer to the time of going. But that's where we are today. So once we've spoken to, as I said, the visa...
Wait. No, there is something else.
Oh.
I have got, because we've booked, obviously, anybody who's been following us, you already know that we hired a lawyer to help us go through this entire process.
Yes.
Part of the process is I will have like a interview.
Like a preparation
interview.
Yeah.
So our lawyers are going to, I've got a call with them end of August time to basically go through what to expect in the interview process and sort of almost like a preparation. They're going to prepare me for my interview. I've got no idea what that consists of or what that looks like. Once I've had it, I'll share some details with you and give you a flavour of what that entailed.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's just a case of don't go in shorts and t-shirts and don't say anything stupid. It's pretty much.
So we'll, obviously let you know what that's all about. In terms of us and the family and the boys, it is obviously the summer school holidays for the kids. They are off. And now we know when the date is and we know what we're going to be doing. We kind of can start making some plans around what we are going to do with the rest of the school holidays, and when we're going obviously down to London and stuff. What we are trying to do is do like little recordings of some of the things that we go and get up to over the school holidays, as this is going to be their sort of last UK summer holiday. So we're just filming. We went to the Sea Life Centre last weekend, so filmed a little bit of that. And Monday we are off on a big one for Finn.
Yes.
We are taking him to go and watch his favourite football team, Liverpool, play in a pre-season friendly. Well, technically there are 2 matches that we can watch.
Sure.
So that is what we're going to be doing Monday. So it's going to be obviously lovely for him if we can film a little bit of that. And, at some point in time we'll share this is what we did before we went. And so you can see some of the things that we got up to here in the UK before we decided to depart.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing Monday, Tuesday. That's kind of all the plans at the minute. I think we've got loads of ideas, but we haven't actually made any plans.
We've got to start planning some now, because we've held off doing anything this summer holiday, waiting for a visa date.
Thinking there might be a visa date.
Yeah. So
we haven't booked out to go any sort of mini type holidays or mini breaks or anything like that.
Or do
we've
anything.
done nothing. No plans. So at least now we can go and do something.
We can. We're certainly not going on a last minute holiday abroad, as Mark looked, and we don't fancy 10 grand for Gran Canaria.
Well, no, 20.
Even more. Yeah, not fancying that. So we're going to be spending the summer here in Blighty.
Oh, joy.
And as is usually the case, all of the beautiful, gorgeous, sunny weather that we were having in the lead up to the school holidays has made way for clouds. So the good thing is it's not necessarily been chucking it down all the time, so we can still get out and about, but the beautiful sun and blue skies have departed for the time being. However, people keep telling me that there's another heat wave coming, so fingers crossed. However, I saw something about a storm hitting Monday. Not necessarily here in the north, but...
Well, I read something about a threat to life storm, so that's hardly sunshine and blue skies, is it? So we'll see. It's not too bad. It's rained a little bit today.
Yeah. It's been dry and cloud, and air temperature's still warm, so we will find some things to do. And that is the plan. And we need to start making plans to spend time with family and stuff like that, getting all the visits in, really.
Yep. Because we've got a few.
We do. And then the thing that we really, really need to crack on with is sorting out the house. And by that, I mean sorting out all of our stuff. We need to do things like going through wardrobes. We need to do things like going through the loft. We need to have a purge and see what we can start to sell.
I kind of think we need a skip.
We might need a bit of a skip.
Certainly for the loft.
Yeah, so we can surely take you along with the let's purge the house.
Although I have decided that I'm no longer sharing information or details or going into any information about potential properties that we might be looking at when we go over there, because I made the mistake of doing that this week to a family member who then replied and went, "Oh, imagine the size of Christmas tree you could have in that lounge. I wonder if Samuel liked the big Christmas tree." And I said, "I'm not sending you any more details of these. My wife needs no more encouragement to be buying Christmas related products."
After all, Christmas in Florida, in Orlando at least, starts the 1st of November. Yes, so there is a potential that we will be there to decorate for Christmas.
Oh, I think we'll definitely be there by then. I'm disappointed we might miss Halloween.
I know, yeah.
I kind of want to get there for that. If we can get there like that third week of October, at least want to be able to see it. I want to take the kids round, celebration, and even just the estates that we're potentially going to be moving on.
I know, yeah.
I think everyone does a reasonable job.
Yeah.
But I would still like to be able to take them to celebration.
We'll have to play it by ear and see where we end up.
Well, the saving grace
There are still tickets for Mickey's Not So Scary available. I've checked.
Maybe if we that could be the motivation. Maybe if we book them for like 22nd of October, for argument's sake.
I wasn't that to me. I felt a bit soon. I was looking at more like the 28th.
Or even the 28th. We've got to be there then, haven't we?
Yeah.
That's the motivation.
But anyway, that's where we are. That's our big happy kind of update. That we at last have an interview scheduled. It's still a while away. We've still got a couple of months to go, but it will be here before we know it.
It'll fly by. Whilst we haven't necessarily made any plans, we've got loads of things going on.
Yeah.
So we next week's going to disappear in no time, and then we're at the 11th of August. So it's not.
Yeah, it'll come round faster than we think.
Yeah. Yeah, we have also decided, the children have also decided that they're going to go back to school for a few weeks.
Yeah.
They kind of figured that they would use it as an opportunity just to spend a few more weeks with their friends at school and be able to say goodbye properly to them, because they didn't really do it before, because we didn't have an idea of what was going on.
Right then, so this is us for this week. If you've made it to the end of this vlog, thank you very much for watching and following along with our journey. Obviously, you will come along for the rest of it, for as long as it goes on. And if you haven't yet, please do subscribe, and then you can come along with us every little bit of where we end up. If you've enjoyed the video, if you've enjoyed following our journey, please just give this video a little bit of a like. And if there's anybody else that you know is looking at doing something similar, please feel free to share the videos with them, so that they can find out a little bit of the way we've got to, or planning on getting to Orlando. And other than that, we will see you very soon on the next one.
You certainly will.
Bye for now.